And what type of business do you run?
I own a labor force management company.
I'm in private equity.
You're in private equity. What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
Probably $4.3 million.
Yeah, let's just say seven figures. I don't like to go into the numbers. Let's just say seven figures.
And your last message to somebody trying to become a multimillionaire in today's world?
You gotta stay true to your brand and believe in yourself and work very hard.
Love what you do, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Number 1.
Hard Knocks family. My guy just pulled up with a Ferrari out here in Houston, Texas. He's right outside of the Rolex store. We're going to go up and see what he was able to do to be able to afford a Ferrari out here in Houston. Let's go see what he has to say. Excuse me, sir. Yeah. Is this your Ferrari?
Yeah, it is.
What do you do for a living out in Houston, Texas to be able to afford a Ferrari?
I'm an entrepreneur.
And how long have you been a business owner for?
21 years.
And what type of business do you run?
I own a labor force management company.
You can only do so much as one person.
That's right.
How important was it for you learning how to master delegation, bringing other people and building teams? How important is delegation?
Let's put it this way. How important is it? My company will do $300 million this year in revenue, right? If I were still doing it all myself, we might do 3, right? One guy can only, or gal, can only do so much. I don't care how talented you are, I don't care how hard you work. You can only do so much. And you got to be honest with yourself. You have weaknesses, right? That's the truth. You have strengths, and that's great. You've got to build a team around you that are going to cover all those weaknesses that you've got, help you accentuate and exaggerate your strengths that you have. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a team that's executing with you and on your behalf, number one, you're going to work for the rest of your life. So I wouldn't call you an entrepreneur. I would say you're self-employed. You're not building a company that's going to grow and scale and live beyond you. You're not building anything lasting. All you did was create a job for. And by the way, that's great. I know some people that do a very, very good job and they have a very nice living doing just that. But if you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're really going to build a business, which I think is create something that lives beyond any one person, you got to know how to motivate and inspire a team around you.
In other words, you got to stop being an employee entrepreneur. A lot of people, they work in the business.
Yeah. No, you need to be working on the business.
As a multiple 9-figure entrepreneur, what's been the best financial advice that you've ever received throughout your career?
Don't be fooled by all the Ferraris and the Paddocks and all that BS. Don't be fooled by that. Know something. Every dollar that a company spends must have an ROI attached to it. If you're doing that, then you can take and spoil yourself a little bit of that money. But as far as the business runs financially, no dollar should ever be spent inside of a business that does not, you cannot directly calculate the ROI to that business.
And have you ever been broke before?
I think every entrepreneur has been broke before, 100%. By the way, there was a point in time, I'll never forget this. I'd actually made about $3 million that year. I think I was 28 years old. Every dollar that I made had to stay in the company, but yet I had to pay income taxes on that money. So I owed like $950,000 in income taxes on that money. And I had like $10,000 in the bank in my personal account. So yeah, I was definitely broke growing up for sure. And I'm proud of that because I think had I not gone through that path and growing up that way, I don't think I would have understood people the way I do. I don't think I would have had the grit, desire, and perseverance that I have today. So that's easy to talk about. What people don't really understand is that you can make a lot of money as an entrepreneur on paper and be broke financially, personally, because every dollar that you're making, if you're doing the right thing, it's got to stay in that company to be able to grow it. It takes money to make money, like I said.
How did you get the money to start your business? Like, did you have a lot of money when you started this?
No, we had no money. So you have to beg, borrow, and steal when you're starting it out, right? Especially when you have no money. So, I mean, you're literally winging it, robbing from Paul to pay Peter, trying to grow it, trying to find just enough money to cover your expenses to get through each month and then build up those retained earnings. So, I mean, we had to take out high interest loans. I call it loan shark money back then, but it was like you're factoring your invoices. It's like 21% interest rate. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But I'm actually really glad I did it that way. I started out that way and I had to pay those absurd interest rates because it forced me to have the discipline to not take the money out of the business. So every week that the company made profit, I'd leave that profit in. That means next week, that's a little bit less I had to borrow and a little bit less and a little bit less. And then you look up, 18 months, 2 years later, now you're borrowing very, very little on what I call the loan shark money, right? But the best part is you've built up your retained earnings, you've built up your balance sheet. Now you can go to a bank, get a traditional line of credit at 6 or 8%, whatever's going on. And now you go from 21% interest on your capital needs to 6 or 8. You've probably got an extra $20,000, $25,000 a month right back to your bottom line.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know they don't teach that in school, right?
No, they don't teach any of this in school. That's the problem. That is the big problem. I think it's one of the biggest problems in this country is that we're not teaching the things that are really going to change people's lives and empower them to, listen, everybody's got goals and aspirations. Everybody does. Yeah. Very, very few people have the discipline and perseverance it takes to achieve them. But when you get past even those things, listen, I had learned these things the hard way. I wish this would have been taught in school, basic business finance, right? Had this been taught, I probably would have been a millionaire, probably closer to 24, 25 years old. Listen, I got there at 28. I'm happy about that. But I think, I think it could have happened. Well, I know it would have happened much sooner had I understood those principles of business.
Last one for you.
Yeah.
45 today.
Yeah.
For a young 20-year-old kid watching this house right now. They want to own a Ferrari in today's world. This is a lot of people's dream car you're sitting in right now.
Sure.
How can somebody own a Ferrari in 2024?
Two simple things. Number one, find something you're truly passionate about. Everything else after that is secondary. You've got to be passionate about it. That's number one. Number two, you just don't ever quit. I tell people all the time, I wasn't always the smartest person in the room. I was just the SOB that refused to quit.
I love it. Thank you so much for your
My
time.
pleasure,
I appreciate
man.
you, brother.
Absolutely.
Have a great
Likewise.
day.
Number 2.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Question for you. Have you ever been broke before?
I've been broke, never been poor.
Yeah. And what do you do for a living out here in Houston, Texas?
I'm in private equity.
You're in private equity. Now, I go all over the country just asking successful people how they made it for the younger generation. Could I get just 1 minute of your time real quick?
Sure.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
In 2019, I sold 76 companies for $1.27 billion.
$1.27 billion.
Yeah.
And do you come from a lot of money?
No.
No. What was the number one book that changed your life?
Yeah, my number one book is Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday.
Yeah.
So good.
Number one takeaway from that book?
That everything that you want is on the other side of your ego. You got to get your ego out of the way. Use people to get to where you need to go.
Do you think everybody's built for entrepreneurship?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because there's a hustle and a grind that's absolutely necessary that most people are not willing to put the effort into.
At what point as an entrepreneur is it time to diversify?
When you have a system and process that's replicatable. If you focus on the actual system, then it doesn't matter what you do. I run 86 companies at the same time, right? So everybody that tells you to focus on one thing, they just don't know how to have a process and system to do multiple. You could run 10 businesses yourself if you wanted to.
So you're running 86 companies.
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible?
It's possible because I have a system and process that gives me all data. I'm a data analyst at the top. I have people that I empower, and then they run the same system across every single company, no matter what it is.
So it's all about kind of people and systems, it seems like.
All about people and systems.
You're in private equity, you're in the money business. What's the best industry people should be looking to get into in 2024?
Right now, AI and tech. I mean, AI and tech's everything.
Why is that?
Because it has the greatest opportunity for scale. Everyone knows they need it. They don't quite have it yet, and it's gonna take over so much of our computational processing in our businesses.
Number 3.
All right, thank you.
Question for you, man. Is this your Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Is this your Lamborghini?
It is.
Could I interview you real quick? I have a channel with 7 million followers. I interview business owners all over the country. I guess, what do you do for a living out here in Houston?
So I have a digital marketing company,
How long have you been a business owner for?
12 years,
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
probably $4.3 million.
Do you come from a lot of money?
No, actually, no. My mom is a Trinidadian woman. My dad's American. I wouldn't say it was poverty, but it was tough. But we always put God first. And with God, everything is possible.
How important has that faith been for you in the success of your business?
Everything. Faith is everything to me. God is everything. And I do believe when you don't have faith, you lose excitement, you lose motivation, you lose passion, and you don't really have much of anything. God can turn anything around in your life.
Without faith, you're dead in the water.
Faith without works is dead, so you have to have faith and you have to work, and together you have success.
What was that turning point to financial freedom for yourself?
I believe it's when I graduated from college. I went to Howard University. I have a dual degree, business and communications. I think graduating with $150,000 in student loans was crazy.
Are you a buyer or a seller?
I'm a licensed realtor in Florida, and I will say this, a lot of people think just, don't rent. No, you actually can rent where you live, and you can rent what you own. So there's a different philosophy that I have when it comes down to building equity in real estate. It's building equity, period, because you have to make sure it's a cash flow, it's a good investment, and there's so many other cash flow businesses that you shouldn't buy the building, just rent it off. It'll be a tax write-off. So I've been able to learn a lot in business over the years, and now I have my own philosophies through experience that actually work.
You know they don't teach that in school, right?
They don't teach it at school, so we gotta talk more.
What did you do to stand out against 99% of other people?
I have a personal brand, and I tell everyone I know, I don't care what your occupation is, you need to have a personal brand. Your personal brand drives your business. People buy into you and they buy into whatever you sell. So regardless of whatever your network is called, I'm gonna get to know you, we're gonna connect, and then whatever else that you have, I'll support that. But I'm buying into you first. So that's number one. Number two, you cannot give up. Even if you don't get the ratings, you don't get the support you need, you gotta keep on going, because you never know in that one moment where someone will see what you're doing and it just has a breakthrough.
People buy from people that they like.
They do.
You got amazing advice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
God bless.
Number 4.
Excuse me, sir. Quick question for you. Have you ever been broke before?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Every hustler's been broke. It's how you respond.
And what line of business are you in?
I'm in apparel.
Are you a business owner?
Absolutely. I do manufacturing as well as I have a clothing line.
And how long have you been an entrepreneur for?
10 years. We're going on 10 years now.
Over these 10 years, what's the greatest lesson that you've learned about entrepreneurship that you pass on to someone about to start their first company in today's world?
You got to stay 10 toes down. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't for everybody. Let's just make sure that everybody knows that, right? And you got to know that you're trying to build a long-term brand. You got to be in it for the long haul. You got to be able to have strong foundation in terms of what you're trying to build, making sure that you got a great team, and then you have a long-term vision for the brand of what you're trying to do. You know, Jay-Z said, man, are you a trend or you Ralph Lauren? You know what I mean? I want to be around 50 years. You feel me?
Yeah, he also said, I'm not a businessman. I'm
a businessman. Come on, you know that.
That's game right there.
That's game,
All
real
right,
game.
Now, let me ask you this. You're in close. How do you deal with tough margins?
Again, you just got to know your numbers. You got to know exactly what you're manufacturing the actual designs for, and then what you're actually going to sell it for. Fortunately enough, we did the Nordstrom deal, right? So there's bigger margins there based off of us manufacturing overseas. However, as I mentioned, we're a manufacturer here. So we do screen printing and direct to garment and DTF, right? So our margins is bigger because now I'm the actual printer. So there's pride in that. I grew up in the hood. I'm from LA. I'm from Carson.
You don't come from a lot of money.
I don't. I never did, right? And again, I speak, let's contextualize it. I'm come as a Samoan, Polynesian growing up in Los Angeles. It's not common within my specific culture to have successful entrepreneurs. So when we did the Nike deal or the Nordstrom deal or pop-ups with Macy's and Tilly's, this is the first time it's ever happened. What's 2024? So I know I'm trailblazing the path for a community that's never done business at this level. Why? Because they don't have the relationships, nor do they have the business structure ready to go once you do get the deal. And remember too, I tell entrepreneurs all the time, that could be a gift and a curse. You get the purchase order for 100 racks from Nordstrom, and it takes you 50 racks to actually do it. Well, where's the 50 racks, James? You're supposed to come up with that, right? So you got to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row in order to play in the big leagues.
So what was the turning point in your life that made you want to get really serious about becoming financially free and building a clothing empire? If there was one moment that you're like, man, I want to get really serious, what was that turning point in your life?
My son is here. He's 24 years old. So as a father, I knew that raising my son, at some point I wanted to pass on generational wealth to him because I didn't come from that. But then I had to figure out the game. I had to build relationships in affluent communities. This is why I'm at a conference now. I really am a proponent of, you got to go where the action is at. And if it's not in the hood, if it's not in your community, you got to literally go live with them. Because more often than not, in these affluent communities, that's where business owners is at. Success is about proximity.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year across all your businesses?
Let's just say seven figures. Yeah, let's just say 7 figures. I don't like to go into the numbers. Let's just say 7 figures.
What's one lesson about business that you give to somebody that they will not learn in school?
Relationships. I always have to go back to relationships. More often than not, this is what I learned from a lot of my mentors. Most successful entrepreneurs at a high level want to do business with people they like.
People buy from people they like.
Exactly. And one of my guys said, despite the price.
I got one for you. Price is only an issue if value is absent.
Oh man, he giving me a game now. I'm taking that one.
Hey, you got amazing advice, my friend.
Man,
I appreciate that. Was exceptional.
Man, thank you, my boy.
Appreciate you, man.
Number 5.
Is this your Rolls Royce?
Yes.
And what do you do for a living out here in Miami?
I own Poppy Steak,
So you own a restaurant. How long have you been?
best restaurant in the world. Haven't you heard of Poppy Steak?
How long have you been in the restaurant business for?
About 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
And what's the biggest issue you've had so far in terms of revenue? What's the most you made in a year?
We made a lot during the COVID years. You know, Florida's been good to us.
Yeah.
And then thank God, business is booming.
Give me
We
a
just
range.
keep going up and up and up and up.
What's the biggest year you had at your restaurant?
2021, 2022.
What'd you do in revenue?
We don't like to say numbers, but a lot.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
Let me
enough to get this car.
Yeah. let me
You can see for yourself.
Just keep driving, bro. Keep driving. So how did you scale to multiple locations and overall just the
You
business?
gotta always give the best service, best hospitality, the best team. You gotta have the best team behind you.
Yeah.
You gotta put a lot of love into it and a lot of hard work.
Yeah, now when it comes to networking, a lot of people struggle to build relationships, build connections in the business world. You're in the hospitality, you're in the people business. What does it take to build winning relationships in the business world?
You gotta constantly stay honest, be honest with all your friends, be honest with all your investors, and just keep printing money and make success.
So how did you get the money to start this business? Did you have to borrow capital from banks or investors, or how did you ultimately get the money?
It's always like that, you know, in business. You need friends, you need relationships, you need partners, but
Yeah.
you gotta stay true and loyal to your partner.
Yeah. And have you ever been broke before?
Of course.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. So you don't. So you
I'm
don't.
self-made. I
Yeah.
worked very hard to get to where I am.
So what was the turning
Many
point?
times.
So what was the turning point to financial freedom? Like, what did you see that made you want to stand out and go create a multi-million-dollar business?
It's never ending. There's never financial freedom.
Yeah.
You always got to work harder, and you always got to strive to get more and more.
And your last message to somebody trying to become a multimillionaire in today's world?
You got to stay true to your brand and believe in yourself and work very hard.
Do you believe in God?
Of course.
And how important was faith for you?
Very important. All
Thank
these
you.
things are very important.
Thank you, my friend. Have a
Nice
great
meeting
day.
you.
Have a great day, sir. Thank you.
Number 6.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been broke before?
No. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah? And I gotta ask you, what do you do for a living out here in Dallas, Texas? Like, what industry did you pursue a career in?
Consulting.
Consulting. Quick question for you. I started a channel in Austin, Texas at the University of Texas. I go all over the country. What I do for a living is I just ask people a couple questions on their best advice to the younger generation. Can I just get 2 minutes of your time, 1 minute of your time real quick?
Legit.
I promise you, I'll show you the channel. It's called The School of Hard Knocks. I've interviewed Mark Cuban, the president of Nike, CEO of Frito-Lay, CEO of 7-Eleven.
Sure.
So you're a consultant.
I was
And
retired.
What types of businesses did you consult for?
Frito-Lay, American Airlines, TXU Energy,
Yeah.
large, medium, small.
What's the most common mistake you see business owners make, right? Because most businesses, they don't make it past 5 years. What's the most common mistake you see business owners make that prevents
They
from
have a
scaling?
great product or service, but they don't know how to manage cash flow.
What was the hardest skill that you had to master as a consultant and as a business owner? What was the
Casting a vision for a team, a small team, to make it into a large team, that this is where we are, but this is where we're going. Follow me, I'm going to get us there.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
8 to 10 million.
$8 to $10 million. That's just for yourself. That's not just the business. That's for
No,
yourself.
me, yeah.
How did you scale your income from 7 to 8 figures?
Retained equity in our company, so I had a salary, $500,000. I had a bonus, salary, 500,000, $500,000, 250 bonus. But the 7 or 8 million came through dividends on the equity that we owned because we were so profitable.
How old are you now?
59,
59.
Almost 60.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. You look
Okay.
amazing for 59, by the way. What advice would you tell your 20-year-old self? If you were to go back to when you were starting over, what would you tell your younger self?
Love what you do, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. Did you come from a lot of money?
I came from nothing.
How did you change your family's trajectory? Like, what was it that you did or like that motivated you to
Instead
kind
of working for a salary for the big man, I'd learned my trade in 10 years working for the big firms, and then the next 20, 25 years, I built my own companies.
You got amazing advice, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
Greatest lesson you learned about entrepreneurship?
Most fail, but you have to have the burn the ships mentality. There is no retreat, and you're taking the island.
You got amazing advice. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Number 7.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah. Question for you. Yeah. How old were you when you became a millionaire?
28.
28 years old?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 58.
58. So 30 years ago. What line of business did you end up in?
Venture capital.
So you're in VC?
Yeah.
So for people that don't understand, how do people make their money in venture capital? Because that's a foreign concept to a lot of people who may not have a big knowledge about.
You invest in 30 companies. 25 are going to go to zero, so you have to be comfortable with the risk of things going to zero, and 5 of them are going to pay off, 100-fold, 200-fold.
And what happened when you were 28 that enabled you to become a millionaire that early?
Started saving my money. I got good jobs. I moved around.
Yeah. So
I just hustled. You can't become a millionaire working from home.
No. So you have.
Well, maybe you could, but most people can't.
So in other words, the more hands you shake, the more money you make.
That's a good way to put it.
What was the best investment you ever made?
Best investment we ever made. Best investment I ever made was the company I started myself, RX List. Put my own money in, didn't raise any venture capital, grew it for 3.5 years and sold it to WebMD.
How much did you sell your company for?
We made 33x on that company.
What's the most amount of money that you sold a company for?
Well, Medible's gone from $5 million at the first round valuation to $2.1 billion most recently.
$2.1 billion.
Yeah, that's Medible.
Are you a billionaire?
No.
No?
Working on it.
Close though. 8 out of 10 companies, they go out of business in 5 years. What's the most common mistake you see business owners make in today's
They
world?
can't scale because they won't hire A players, and they won't hire good people around them, and they won't delegate. That's it.
So you have to take that risk and give some people a nice chunk of change.
You have to be comfortable giving people more responsibility that could do the jobs better than you can.
And did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to UC Davis.
Did college help you become a millionaire?
Absolutely. Taught me to think.
But what's the best college degree somebody can get in today's world?
Doesn't matter. Once you get a college degree, it's what you do.
Yeah.
3 years out of college, nobody cares where you went to school.
What's the most underrated skill to master in the business world?
Get along with people. Like, learn to, you got to be a sponge. Absorb information. And don't worry about making mistakes. Everybody worries about making mistakes.
Yeah.
Your generation's super worried about making a mistake. There you have it.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time.
Number 8.
Excuse me, sir. Question for you. Have you ever been broke before? Have you ever been broke before?
I've been broke before?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I've been broke before.
Yeah. And what line of business are you in?
I own a digital marketing company. I'm an investor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I go all over the country just asking successful people how they made it for the younger generation. Could I interview you for the channel real quick?
That's dope, man.
So how long have you been an entrepreneur for?
For about 3 or 4 years, man.
Over these 4 years, what was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
It's going to be my current year. Making a few million this year, bro. Yeah.
Give me a range.
45.
$45 million.
Yeah.
As a multiple seven-figure entrepreneur, what is the best financial advice that you ever received?
Leverage debt. I think a lot of people are looking to get out of debt, which means you just come from being negative to broke. And then another thing is, if you don't learn how to leverage debt, you'll always be working for somebody else who knows how to leverage debt.
Break that down. How can somebody leverage debt to create wealth?
Let's just say if we leverage other people's money to be able to buy real estate or to start a business, now we have the capability and opportunity to start these businesses and investments. But we can use somebody else's money to start something that cash flows and then pay back off the debt over time. So why am I looking to pay off debt when I can cash flow off somebody else's money and start the things that I want to start without my own money? I like that concept.
You know they don't teach that in school, right?
Yeah, you definitely don't learn that in school.
Did you go to college?
I went to college for like 90 days, and then I dropped out. I'm not that smart, man. I didn't know how to write a 10 to 15 page paper. I kind of quit after they told me how to write a page paper. I'm like, that ain't my thing.
How old are you now?
30.
30.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you became a millionaire?
Like 27.
Do you come from a lot of money?
Nah, I don't. My father died in a car crash when I was a kid, like 1 year old, and my mom, she got taken in jail for a few years as well. So
what was the turning point to financial freedom?
one thing that I know is that everybody do is say that stuff is hard. Starting a business is hard. Investing is hard. Like getting your credit together is hard. Well, it's hard being broke. It's hard being in the same position year after year after year after year. So you got to choose what hard you want.